Hey, hello, and thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the world over to you. Talesfromthecorners.com. That is the website. We are all over the place. You can catch me everywhere, all the social media platforms and beyond. Thank you so much. It is now, guess what? It's mid-February, February. 19. 19? Are you kidding me? This didn't even exist in the 1900s. 2026, 2026, mid-February. We just got through another Valentine's Day, and this has been a rough winter here in the southeastern United States. We had a little bit of an ice storm here, a little bit of dusting of snow, whatever. But wow, I cannot believe that we are at this point. And at this point, I have a great new guest on here. She actually was on a few years ago. Her name is Kendra Erika, and she has like kind of changed her style in a way. She's kind of doing some really cool stuff over there in Vegas and has really gotten into recording James Bond themes. That's been her shtick lately over there. She was doing, I guess it was EDM, whatever that is, electric dance music. I think she was into doing that kind of stuff the last time I spoke with her, and it's been a bit. I'm recording this. I recorded her several weeks ago, but here we are, February 2026. How y'all doing out there? This has just been just a lovely winter. I'm so glad that the heat at least has come down here, but be careful what you wish for. My Lord, we've had some good freezing weather here, which is good. Hopefully, that's killing the bugs out there. As we always like to say here in the South, hopefully it's bringing down the bug population. So hopefully maybe next summer won't be so bad. Worried about the spring as I always am because it comes roaring in here and sometimes we get that tornadic activity. It's not fun, not fun at all. But we go through it and we try to survive. But Kendra is wonderful. Great time speaking with her. Just very, very ambitious. Had a great time, and I hope you do too. This is just a really, really lovely conversation that we had. See you on the other side of this thing. Great to see you again. I can't
You
remember the
as
last time.
well. I know I can't remember the last time, but if we're talking about like time machines and all of that, like that's very much apropos of what I've got coming out soon.
True, true.
Conceptually.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I've been doing this for 5 years, so it might have been pretty early on. I'm probably over 170 episodes in, something like that.
Wow,
It's at it.
congratulations.
Yeah, I just keep at it. This is something I do on the side of my day job. I work in TV productions, so here in Atlanta.
Right.
So this is something, like people like you who are stuck at home and had no place to go.
Yeah. Yeah, because the world has definitely opened back up.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
So since then, are you in Florida
No,
these
I'm
days?
in LA right now.
Back to LA.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's where the action's at. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
much goes on.
I moved from Florida to LA, and
Okay.
now that I'm in LA, I'm especially with the new project that I have coming out, I'm constantly back and forth from Vegas to LA.
Oh wow.
So it's like I can never be settled one place because once I get settled, then I'm like, oh, back and forth another place.
That's cool. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You get into a comfort zone when you've been in one place for so many years, and it's kind of nice to have a change, but
Yeah.
then you probably get tired of the change too, of like, oh, gotta pack up again. So,
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I'm stationed in LA currently, but
yeah.
just going out there for rehearsal shows, in preparation for the album release party in February. So just
Yes.
been teeing up and gearing up and making sure that all those hinges are oiled and everything can be presentable once that
Yeah.
time comes.
So this new project, this is all this James Bond thing. What's the inspiration on that? You just like always loved Bond and just got into that?
Well, my dad introduced me to the films when I was super young. I was actually 7 years old. It's funny because 007 7. Um, and I was always just so captivated by James Bond and by those films. And later on in life, I actually was working with an artist development firm out of New York when I was like 19, 20, 21. And their brand that they developed for me was actually this like Bond-esque or this Bond-inspired girl. And I put out like a couple records with them. One was called Hustler, the other one was called Miami Love. And the musically, it was inspired by like Lana Del Rey and Jessie Ware and Ellie Goulding, but with that like Bond girl element to it. And then when I was introduced to Jason Dallman, my Billboard dance chart promoter through them, then that's when I got into dance and I was doing dance for so long, but now I want to come back to those classics and come back to the roots and then and showcase that ability and see that aesthetic through.
Yeah, you went from EDM, dance pop to finding your jazz roots. So that had to be probably somewhat comforting. But yeah, then again, am I doing the right move here? It's got to feel like very strange to take that kind of a left turn. But artists do that, and it's a
Mhm.
good thing too, because you're so inspired to keep changing. It reminds me of David Bowie, how much he kept changing, no matter what he was doing. It wasn't always about like trying to get the huge hits. If he wanted to have huge hits, he did it and worked on it and achieved that success. But really amazing though to make that artistic left turn and
Mhm.
take that chance. You got to do that in life.
Yeah, you have to take risks if you want to break through different barriers because or else you get stuck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It all starts
and
sounding the same. It really does.
yeah, and then you open up a bag of Lay's and you're like, oh, it's stale.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's I wanted to go back to that only because when I was doing dance and EDM, the the only downfall of doing that style of music is that you're performing at these festivals or these clubs, and people are kind of disconnected because they're too engrossed in social media or they're too all what's the word like altered like
Yeah, yeah.
mentally from like drugs and alcohol. Even performing at a lot of these clubs, I would go on at midnight, 1 o'clock in the
Oh,
morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And so you can't really do much proper engagement or networking or even getting your name out there because people at that state they don't know what their names are. Uh,
so you see a lot of that, like yeah, people just
so
tripping late in the night doing it was a rave part. I remember raves were huge. I remember doing
yeah.
stories on raves. Oh my
On
gosh.
raves, I know. Um,
Yeah, they don't know who
but
they are.
Yeah, but that's why I wanted to go back to the classics because that audience they're more connected, they're more engaged, and also they're the ones with the money. So
Yeah. Yeah, true, true, true. Very, very true. So, getting into jazz, what was your first exposure to it? Who did you really look up to, like those Ella Fitzgerald type performers?
Oh, oh yes. Well, when I was a teenager, I started gigging around town. Actually, when I my first gig was at an Italian restaurant called Renzo's in Boca Raton, Florida. And I got that job because my parents and I had gone to the restaurant one night and it just so happened to be karaoke night. And I
Oh,
got up
cool.
and I did Time to Say Goodbye by Andrea Bocelli. And I
Oh,
got a
oh.
standing ovation because people were just so in such disbelief that that could come out of like a 15-year-old. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's hard. It's hard, especially in voice changing, and it's hard when
yes.
you're a kid to hit those crazy notes. But like, as you're getting into those teen years, I'm sure. Wow, that's amazing.
So I did that song, got a standing ovation, and then the owner, Renzo from Sicily, he comes over with two full like fat glasses of wine for my parents, and he says, I have a proposition.
Very good.
And he goes, I have a proposition, and so we're all like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? You know, because we've seen like Coppola films, you know, Scorsese
Yeah, the Don
films.
Corleone thing. It's like,
Yeah.
am I taking you up to the Godfather now?
Exactly. So he goes, I have a proposition. And he said, you know, I just remember him saying, I lost my Sunday singer because she got knocked up. Um, so would you like to fill that spot and be my Sunday singer? And I instantly, right off the bat, took that opportunity. But then once like the haze of getting that kind of dissipated, then reality settled in, and I was like, I can't just sing, you know, one or two or three songs on loop throughout the whole night. I need to build a repertoire. So then that's when I went home, and thankfully, because my dad had exposed me to, you know, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, all of those like classics growing up, I was already quite familiar with those songs. But I had to go home and I had to do a crash course and build my repertoire like uh you know in a matter of, you know, weeks. So,
Sure, sure.
and then it kept on building, obviously, because it wouldn't stop there. I would keep building the repertoire, but I had to come up with, you know, 15 or 20 songs to do. And also, like I said about my dad, just my parents in general, whenever I would be growing up, whenever they would have company over, they would always be playing Broadway soundtracks. They would always be playing like Andre Bocelli soundtracks or Celine Dion or Barbara Streisand or just like classics in the American Songbook. So, like I said, I was already quite familiar with it. So I already felt you know, seasoned in that capacity. So it was easy for me to to immerse myself in that.
Yeah. So you said you were seeing Bond movies. Now, this is the name of the album coming out right before Valentine's Day. License to
Yes.
Thrill, the James Bond songbook. Perfect for
Yes.
performances in Vegas as well. So you're getting that all wrapped up this
Oh,
really exciting in
yeah.
2026.
Yeah, really exciting. And I don't think any place else would play host to a Bond than other than
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah. Perfect.
But yeah, that's on a national level. Then international, then we'll talk about that. But
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
um,
that's true. National level, Vegas is the place for that. Totally perfect. What venue are you performing all this at?
I'm doing the party and the release event at the Space in Vegas.
Okay, the space. Yeah, it's been a while. I was there in the late 90s and went to Caesars and
Oh,
did
okay.
the magic show and all that fun stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, it's thrilling. It's fun. Everybody's got to do Vegas at least once. So, yeah,
I
that's
know.
exciting.
I know. Yeah, and it's just been such a good outlet and such a good environment to really like multiply and to garner all of this and rehearse and just, you know, feel immersed in that kind of classic show-stopping kind of a, you know, kind of a classic show
Yeah,
and
yeah.
concept.
Yeah. And doing this live, you have a full backing band, people you put together, or is it like the house
Hmm.
band, or how did that
Yeah,
work?
it's a band, and also I'm performing on top of the original compositions, like the original recording.
Hmm.
So I'm performing on the band is playing on top of the track to make it sound really full.
I bet that is full. Yeah. People, it's funny
Yeah.
when they go to see concerts and like you're hearing the strings, and it's like you're not seeing them. It's like, that's coming through the computer and the keyboards and all that stuff.
I
So,
know the band in the box.
yeah. But it does, and it's interesting because when you got that big, full sound, it psychologically puts you into a whole different space. That's
It
the
does.
magic of live performance. It's just, and all the technology.
It's very transportive.
Yeah, yeah. But this type of music gets you to showcase your true vocals where EDM, you were really layered in there. It felt like, anybody who's in
Hmm.
EDM, you're just kind of buried under all this stuff. And this is
Yeah.
like totally different.
Yeah, there's it's different kinds of engineering. Like EDM was engineered to produce, more of that like synthetic sound, whereas this is engineered to highlight your actual sound. So,
Yeah.
and what I'm embracing now is allowing for showcasing my ability to be like the new cool. And because I've seen the likes of, Lady Gaga going from the pop and dance world, and now she's, she performed with Tony Bennett, she did like The Star is Born. So she really deepened herself. And then also Nicole Scherzinger as well,
Yeah.
going from shake your booty in the camera to winning a Tony on stage.
Yeah, yeah, you can reinvent yourself. That's the
Yeah.
thing. There's true raw talent there with, especially yeah, you're in that group. But going forward with this album, you got the lead off single Golden Eye.
Yes.
Picking that song, does any special reason we're picking these certain songs?
Well, Golden Eye, it just right off the bat, well, because people obviously think of Goldfinger when they think of Bond, but Golden
Right.
Eye is one of those hidden treasures, I think, because although Tina Turner did originally sing it, and then Bono and The Edge wrote it, and it's from the movie GoldenEye. I feel like it's one of those hidden treasures that was kind of under promoted.
Yeah.
But the style that I do the song in is very much like Peggy Lee's Fever. That's actually who or what I wanted to model the song after. I wanted it to sound like that because I know the original song "GoldenEye" is very dramatic because
Mm.
I mean it's a Bond song. I mean you have to have like those like hard hits and those swelling strings and swelling vocals. But for this one, I wanted it to be like I said, conceptually just like a stripped down version of it. And I chose that one because it's um one of more of like like I said, the underpromoted or the secondary memorable Bond songs, but also it just has that element that can represent the album as a whole because it is stripped down.
Yeah, yeah. Great track out there now. And then the album's February 13th, 2026. So that's
Yes.
pretty exciting. Any other songs that stand out from this collection and why you picked those certain ones? Was it early movies that you saw and you were inspired?
Yeah, well, the whole album is a journey and it takes you through like the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. And I wanted to do it that way because everyone loves seeing like the evolution or the story of. And also because I couldn't just pick like one era or one uh like one Bond or like one movie to compile all these songs. So this is just a really nice journey of and an evolution of Bond and really highlighting those iconic numbers.
So who was your James Bond? Mine was Roger Moore. I didn't know about Sean Connery until later on. Yeah.
Mine's Roger Moore as well.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
just I think The Spy Who Loved Me was the first one I saw in theaters. Discovered the other
Okay.
ones later on. And as far
I
as
s-
Live and Let Die, oh my gosh.
My
What
first movie was Goldfinger. My dad showed me Goldfinger when I was 7 because I just remember seeing that one scene where like the bad guy gets in the passenger seat of the car and then he gets ejected. Um, and my dad actually had these sort of like action figures or these toys from his childhood that he had kept in the attic and he brought them down and it was like this matchbox sort of like Aston Martin and there and you
Smart, yeah.
there's like this little figure who's James Bond who's like in a white jacket and everything and you could put him in the car and then there's like this like bad guy or whatever that you could put in the car too in the passenger seat and then there's like this little switch on the car that you could press and then the guy ejects from the from the car so
I know those effects. It's so funny because when I was a kid, I was like so impressed, and I see this stuff years later, like MGM Channel plays those things or wherever, and it's just so amazing how cheesy the effects look so many years later. Especially Spy Who Loved Me. Oh my gosh, I look at that now. I remember I was thinking I was about 10. Don't do the math, but I was about 10 when I saw that, and I was like so like, oh, I love this futuristic gadgets. Oh, this is so cool, and I go to see it now, and it's like, oh my gosh.
and now you're like now I can order food on this
Whoever would have thought? I was like so love the
yeah.
gadgets James Bond had, things on his body. But it was just so amazing to see that. But God, I loved Carly Simon's song in that. And
Yeah, I
gosh,
know.
oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
I didn't put that on this album, but I am contemplating. I'm very much
Yeah.
percolating on doing a volume two.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much there. I
There's
mean,
there's so much. I mean, there's like 25 films.
yeah,
So
easily.
and I only covered 9 of them in
Oh
the
yeah.
first album.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to do either volume 2 and then a volume 3, but it's just it's so fun being like this kind of concept forward. It's very exciting because the audience is already baked in. People already love Bond, and even the people that are just are just being introduced to Bond, if they're like especially in this generation, if they're just like Billie Eilish fans or Sam Smith fans or Adele fans they're being introduced to it and I think it's really cool but they only think that it's that Daniel Craig is like the only Bond but yeah they've got a lot of homework and research to do which I am assisting them in doing so.
Yeah, yeah. And you draw the younger audiences and the older ones, especially in Vegas. I
Yes.
mean, you could definitely get
Yes.
that cross section. That's very important to try to get that wide of an audience as you can because we're so segmented these days. It's
Yeah.
crazy how like, music is just like there's stuff that we haven't even heard that's just like over there and it's just so
I
separated
know.
out.
I know. Well, it's I mean, it's like the top 40 versus everything else.
Yeah, yeah. It used
Yeah.
to be top 40 was like the main central thing. I used to listen to the countdown shows every weekend. We felt like we all listened to the same kind of things. But yeah, just because of technology now with all the streaming and everything, it's just everybody's in so much of their own silo. So it's a huge challenge, I'm sure, to try to get out there and try to get a big audience. But Vegas is a really way to go, for sure.
Yeah, and also I mean the whole 007 concept is timeless. So every like the people from the 60s love it, people from even from before then too. So I mean it's tis a season to say, I think it's appropriate to say kids from 1 to 92.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's so
They
true.
revere it. So
Oh yeah. So putting the album together, where did you record? Were you out in LA, work with a good team of production people?
yes, I chose Myron McKinley to spearhead this project production wise. I wanted to work with him again because he did such a great job on the cover of Witchcraft that I did. Um, and he and Ralph Johnson, actually from Earth, Wind and Fire, they co-produced that particular track. But when I was making the decision of which producer to go to or to handle this project, I instantly knew Myron was going to masterfully excel in this area because he has a way of stripping songs down and making them sound so restylized and really creating a new take on it,
Yeah. Yeah.
a new signature. And I think with both of us, me being on the vocal side and him being on the production side, I really do feel like we this recipe was successful.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And it's exciting. As far as, are you going to have this on vinyl CD? Do you have artwork put together with this that we could see it when it's all released?
Oh yeah, well the artwork is already finished and has been teased out there on the interweb. But the album itself is not going to be available for listen or download until February 13th.
Yeah, we gotta tease it and it's just
I gotta
lead it
tease
off.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So GoldenEye's out there ready. You gonna release another
Yes.
single from that before?
Golden Eye is out now. And as far as releasing another single, I think because of where we are in the holiday shuffle, I think not releasing anything until the album comes out, because then we run into January, which is like a very dry month
Yes,
for
it
the
is.
industry, and then we have award season. Well, first we have Sundance and award season, and then Super Bowl, and then once all that is done, then boom, that's when
Yeah.
this album will emerge.
It's definitely the timing. Yeah, you feel
Yeah.
like I put a new episode out. It's like, I don't know, everybody's like on vacation away. It
Mhm.
feels like the whole world just shuts down for these last 2 weeks of December. It's
Well,
just,
I wanted to put out the album in November, right before all the holidays, and I was wisely advised not to. And
interesting.
the only reason why I was sort of um countering them is because when I released Self-Control back in 2019, I released it the week between Christmas and New Year's. So it was like the path of least resistance, and no one was releasing projects. So once I released that, everything just went to number one because there were no trees, no bushes, no high grass in the way.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Wow. So,
So
yeah, you live and you learn, especially with
yeah.
doing the promotion. It's not easy. It's
So that's why
much you can compete with.
I was telling my team, I was like, well, I did it this way back then, but then I have to take into account that this is not like a dance or EDM song. This is like something that we need to be more mindful of and more tactful with.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I can't compete with Rudolph. GoldenEye can't compete with Rudolph, so
Yeah, that's smart. That really is. So yeah, I mean, are you bringing any of your EDM tracks into these shows? That's just totally separate. That's just something else you would maybe revisit at some other point.
Well, funnily enough, wrote and recorded two more upbeat tracks that are very much on that sophisticated Bond-esque worldly sound. Um, and I I'm going to be incorporating them and interspersing them in different aspects of the Bond presentation. It's just a matter of when, where, and how.
Yeah. Yeah,
So, but
that's good.
I'm really looking forward to releasing these because I still don't want to make a full departure from upbeat music and dance music because it's become a part of who I am and my journey, and I don't want to, forsake that, and I don't want to like abandon that just because I'm doing this new like elevated sound, but I can also incorporate that elevated sound into that upbeat sound. So there's definitely a way to converge the two.
Yeah. So you recorded Self-Control. I remember that single very well way back in
Yeah.
1984. Wow. What made you choose that covering Laura Branigan, the late great Laura Branigan?
I
Just
know.
she was just so big when I was in high school. It was like such a like this mystery woman to us. And she comes out with this track and I was like blown away in the video. I remember when that video premiered and my friends and I had to see it. We're like, "Oh my God." It's amazing. What inspired you to cover her?
Well, the song, I was introduced to the song by a producer that I was working with in Nashville, like several years ago, and he had worked for Carrier Records, which was a French label back in the 80s, and what people don't really know about the song Self-Control is that Laura Branigan was not the first to do it. It was originally performed by an Italian pop singer by the name of Raf, and Raf made it big in Italy, and Carrier Records was the label that distributed it. And then once Raf made it big in Italy, then Laura then took it and made it big in the States about a year later.
Amazing. No, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, good
So,
stuff.
and I always loved the song, and when I would be performing and gigging in South Florida, I would always throw that song in at the end of the night when people wanted something more upbeat, and I just loved it.
Yeah.
And when Damon Sharp and I, after racking up a few original Billboard dance hits under our belt, the idea of doing a remake came to mind, and right off the bat, I said Self-Control, and he agreed with me. Like fervently agreed with me. So that's how that remake came to be.
So you were mentioning earlier about the international scene and how you're getting that global reach.
Mhm.
How's that going for you? You're getting catching fire in some other countries?
Yeah, well, especially in China, actually,
Really?
this past year, I was awarded the Goodwill Ambassador Award by the Hollywood Global Film Festival, and I did an address to the people of China for their Chinese New Year, and that went very well. And so that part of the world, like Asia, or my music has been exposed to that audience. Also, I have a great deal of following in the Middle East, also in Europe and South America, and and also in parts of Africa too. And I just feel that to be having that international appeal is so rewarding, because in order to be promoted in those parts of the world, you have to have a certain quality, because they're not just gonna take someone that's like a fly by night or doesn't have anything to bring to the table. So especially in Asia, especially in parts of Europe like the UK, and also like in South America and the Middle East, like they love quality, and they don't want anything that's superficial.
Wow. That's really amazing. So have you been to some of these places, going over to places like China?
That's to come
Good.
this new year, and also taking the show, like the Bond show, overseas, and performing it.
Yeah, it's so neat though to see overseas them being fascinated with our culture. It feels so good to do that. I just feel like, oh gosh, this is like such a key to world peace. That's like you're
Yeah.
kind of the ambassadors. That's
hmm
especially with China and places like that. It's just like, we all do have that same kind of language. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're definitely speaking that. So you are known to have been born tone deaf. I mean, doesn't it feel like How is that
Yeah.
determined, really? I mean, I swear, I mean, every kid's probably say, "Hey, you're tone deaf." I mean, which discourages a lot of kids from ever singing. That's for sure.
Um, yes, but it didn't discourage me. I think because since I was so young, and I was being directed by my parents on what to do, because I was introduced to a German opera singer who laid that foundation for me at such a young age. And
Yeah,
they always say learning a language is a lot easier when you're young rather than when you're later in
yeah,
life. So, because your brain is so amenable. And I was able to absorb all of that training and then not only that, but then build upon it too, because the classical training is so instrumental and it is like the building blocks of the voice. And I just remember just having the confidence but not having those skill sets. And my parents didn't tell me that I was tone deaf. They just were like, if you want to, they're like, if she wants to pursue this, she's gonna have to get, straightened out.
yeah. But you know what it is? It's like, yeah, you could probably say that about any kid's not there. You're not born singing in key. I don't think anybody really can be. It's like
Yeah.
you need to
Well,
really, yeah,
I did notice people growing up that were naturally gifted and
yeah,
I always felt I always felt kind of behind, but that's only because, and I saw a quote that a friend of mine posted just the other day, and it said, if you feel behind, it's not because you're behind, it's because you didn't have it handed to you.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I really do believe in your 10,000 hours. You got to really just, put
Mhm.
in for it. It's just, it's the practice makes perfect. That's how you get to Carnegie Hall.
I
It's
know.
that old saying. You really, really do. And certainly, yeah, you could be, and you're in that environment where you are encouraged. And, that's important that your
Mhm.
parents encourage you. Gosh, there's so many things that they tell you not to do. It's,
Yeah. So having that encouragement was very integral and very invaluable for me.
Yeah, yeah. So you're available on the web here, your
Yeah.
actual name,
Yeah.
kendraerica.com. And you have
Yes.
this motif on there where you're looking like Marilyn Monroe. So that's what inspired that on your website.
That was from the last single that I put out called I'm Nice Till I'm Not, and that single is was inspired like by Prohibition, 1920s, Flapper, that whole like Prohibition world. And yeah, that I wanted to be visually representative of that particular era. And also that song was sort of the segue into what I'm doing now, more of that classic, or that classic style. So I utilize that as sort of like the catapult or the catalyst for this next phase.
Good, good. And speaking of the website, that's where we can go through and order your new release. Uh, or
Yes.
in pre-order too as well, since we'll probably have this out before February 13th.
Yes, pre-save and pre-order before February 13th. But yeah, then the album comes out then, and then the showcase in Vegas will be February 15th.
Cool. And you got your YouTube channel cooking and
YouTube channel is up and running. It's been up and running, especially with the new release, the Golden Eye video just dropped recently. So, and then everything else is gonna come full stream.
what was it like shooting that video? Because like a lot of performers are just like, I like doing the music only. Oh, I hate the camera, but you seem to like the camera. I mean, not everybody's into that, but yeah, I've noticed some performers it's like I'm music only, I'm audio only. But you got to be on video too. Especially we had to really honestly the last 45 years, pretty much.
Um, yeah, well, shooting videos is fun for me because I just get to take on a different character each
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Um, Hold on one second. There's someone at my door.
absolutely. As we go to the door here. I'm not even going to pause this because I really like to keep the recording going as we do this show. We're rounding it up here towards the end of
Okay.
2025. It's a lot of fun talking with a lot of these performers. So, yeah, I was able to fill a
Yeah.
little time there. Was it a little
Okay. Yeah.
one of those FedEx deliveries or Amazon?
Oh no, my AC guy.
Ah, AC,
Yeah.
you're running I
Yeah.
know we're supposed to be in a heat dome in these last couple of weeks of 2025, which is very bizarre. So here we go. Everybody want to sit there and talk about global warming and all that fun stuff. But no, I appreciate you stopping by here and
Yeah.
telling everybody about your new release and James Bond and best wishes out there on the road and
Thank you.
especially in Vegas. Go
Yes.
see Kendra over there in Vegas.
Yes, please do. It's going to be so fun and looking forward to seeing everybody and coming out and just really embracing the double O life.
Cool. Best wishes. Take care. Hope to see you again one day.
Yes, you do.
Take care. Bye bye. Hey, wasn't that wonderful? She is a class act. I really enjoyed speaking with her. Really, really talented. Great voice. To me, you're all magicians. You musicians are magicians. Love it. Hopefully, we will do more of these, and I'll talk with you very, very, very soon. Thank you for joining me.